Hey, what's up YouTube? Lightsaber Samurai here, back again with another video, and it is officially October and spooky season, and I know a lot of my peers are dragging out our favorite horror games and Halloween themed games for the month, and I wanted to dive in that too, but I kind of wanted to stay away from our haunting grounds, our Resident Evils, the Silent Hills, all the kind of stuff we come to expect this time of year. Main reason because I covered a lot of those games in the past, but I kind of wanted to look at games that we don't think about when we think of our horror games. Any game that gives me that Halloween autumn vibe I'm going to be covering throughout the month. And first game on the list is one for the PlayStation 3, so without further ado, Dark Sector. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Dark Sector was a game released in 2008 for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. This takes place in kind of an alternate version of the near future. You play as a CIA operative named Hayden, and he's sent to this country of Syria, I think, and he's out to stop a dude. He's a CIA operative too who went rogue and is going to unleash the technocrat virus upon mankind, and it's up to your guy Hayden to stop him. And so this originally, it starts out like your traditional cover based shooter of the time. Think Gears of War, think Mass Effect, even GTA 4 and 5. It'll have Hayden placing himself in cover because he can't take a lot of damage from bullets, and so you'll pop from cover to cover, sneaking shots on enemies, and it basically starts out as your basic like third-person shooter, handguns, assault rifles, throwing grenades type of affair until you catch up with your target and you try to use a weapon that doesn't work on these new enemy types. Eventually you get yourself captured, as I mentioned, and you get infected with the virus. But because main character type-ish, you are then imbued with the virus, but you don't turn into the lumbering zombies that a lot of people turn into, and you don't go immediately insane. So instead, you just get a supercharged up arm with a bunch of cool symbiotic powers that come in the form of the glaive, which is this bladed weapon that he can manifest at will, and you can use it for close combat, and you can use it for ranged attacks as well. So you decide to carry on with the mission then, and when that happens, then the game slightly changes its focus from just your standard cover-based shooter to something else entirely. And when I was playing this game originally, I got a lot of Resident Evil 4 in it, just from the over-the-shoulder view, the kind of horror aspect that accompanied this game. A lot of games at the time got influence from Resident Evil 4, and this was like the first of the new batch of games that were doing the horror action thing. And so once you get the glaive, I mean, like I said, it opens up into something else entirely. With the glaive, you still have to use cover-based shooting, but now you can imbue your glaive with different elements like fire and electricity to harm certain enemies. There, you'll use fire and electricity in conjunction with your glaive to solve puzzles. You can get stronger versions of your long-range attacks, so you can take out multiple enemies or take out an enemy in one hit. My favorite ability, I think it's called the aftertouch, where you throw the glaive and then it zooms behind the camera and you get a slow-mo view where you can control where the glaive goes. And that's fantastic for if you're getting swarmed, which you often do. You can use the aftertouch to take out priority targets, to set off explosions, deal headshots, things like that, like decapitations. It's all a really good time. And like I said, the combat in this is almost perfect. The only thing that I wish, that I think that holds it back, is over time, as you get more superpowers, then the gunplay kind of takes a back seat. And in fact, once you lose your weapons, you'll start off with the glaive. I think you'll get the pistol afterwards. You can still get a bunch of different weapons in this game, but the enemies have a bio lock on their weapons, so anything that's infected with the virus can't use the weapons. They will explode after 15-20 seconds or so. And that's kind of cool because that kind of lets you just move around the levels. You don't really get to just hold an arsenal with you. You kind of move around the levels, use what you can in the situation that you're in, and just keep it moving. And I really think that that complements the combat. If you want to, there is a character that you meet, a sleeper agent, who eventually opens up a black market. And once the black market is open, then you can buy weapons that you can use permanently without the lock. And that's really helpful because, like I said, a lot of the weapons kind of, you know, they will self-destruct after a couple of seconds of use. So that's really nice. The issue that I have with the combat, though, is as you get more powerful, even though you can acquire more firearms, the focus kind of shifts from firearms to your glaive and all of the powers that are associated with it. And once they do that, they should give you some abilities to kind of circumvent the whole cover shooting thing. Using your glaive from cover is okay, but I wish you could really cut loose. Like, it seems to want to let you, but the game never just quite gets there. I would have liked to see them give you more in the way of melee combat as well. You can do a couple of melee attacks, couple of combos. Like I said, you can imbue your glaive with different elements. Like if you throw it through a burning fire, then your glaive will catch fire. Now you got fire attacks, and so it's cool. But like I said, I wish that but again, once you're out of the open, you can die in a couple of hits, even if you're souped up with powers or not. So that'd be the only thing I would change. The story in itself also, it's not the strongest storyline. It's just kind of there to move you from point A to point B. And that's all well and good. The game itself doesn't outstay its welcome. You can beat the game in about 5 to 6 hours. So it's not a super short game, but it's not a super long one either. All in all, this is a game that you can have super cheap. It still plays pretty well. The graphics on it are fantastic. It spent something like 5 years in development. It kept going through different development cycles, and so that being said, when the game came out, to its credit, it didn't feel outdated or rushed or anything when it came out. It seemed like they really took the time to polish the game. I would put it, graphics wise, I would put Dark Sector up with many of the best looking games of the era. It is a well polished game that you are getting here. They can be had at this time for around 10 bucks or so. So all in all, it's a pretty fun romp and a game that not a lot of people know about. It's got your horror touchstones, and it feels something more akin to like a Resident Evil 4 or 5. And it's got that blend of horror and action. If you see this game, it is on the Xbox 360 as well. Both versions, to my knowledge, play fine. I've been playing the PS3 version for years, and I don't have any technical issues. Like I said, it's well polished, so you're not going to get a lot of screen tearing or frame rate issues or pop-up or anything like that. It runs exactly like it's supposed to. So either version you get is still, in my book, and worthy of adding, especially if you like the horror action genre. Alright guys, I do believe that's all for this short little video, but let's talk about it in the comment section below. Questions, comments, concerns, threats. Did you guys ever play Dark Sector? Again, this game would go on to become the Warframe series on the Xbox One and the PS4. And while they're making, I think they're making like a prequel series or a prequel expansion that kind of explains how we got from point A to point B. This still kind of serves as kind of like a what if prequel. You know, they kind of, like I said, there's a lot of things that ties the world together. So if you like Warframe, and this is a good way to kind of jump back in that world while you're waiting for the new expansions to come out and things like that. But if you like this content, like I said, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You'll be glad you did. I do believe that's all I got for you. Lightsaber Samurai out. Peace.